Valves and plumbing. Take a quick survey of the plumbing to locate any valves in the system. With the motor pump turned off, try the valves to make sure they rotate freely. Make sure you put them back in the position you found them. It goes without saying, of course, that if the system is set to operate normally, the only water you should see should be in the pool. No leaks anywhere. Booster pumps. The motor and pump used for normal circulation will run only so many jets in the spa. So a booster pump may be added to run still more jets. Here too, look for leaks. Look for debris around the motor. With the main circulation motor pump running, turn on the booster pump and feel for excessive vibration. Listen for sounds caused by bad bearings and seals. Filters. Filters are sized according to the amount of filtering media, measured in square feet. They filter minute particles out of the water. The particles are measured in microns, 1/millionth of a meter. There are 3 types of filters: sand filters, cartridge filters, and DE or diatomaceous earth filters. Sand filters filter out particles down to about 20 to 40 microns in size. Cartridge filters down to about 10 to 20 microns in size. And DE filters filter out particles down to as few as 3 microns in size. The sand filter is simple. It's basically a tank full of silica sand particles, 0.45 to 0.55 millimeter in size. Water is pumped into the tank, forced through the sand that acts as the filtering agent, and then back out and onto the pool. The cartridge filter holds 1 or more filter cartridges. Water is pumped into the tank, through the cartridge, which filters the water, and then back to the pool. DE stands for diatomaceous earth. The DE filter has grids. These are plastic frames covered with fabric. Diatomaceous earth is sort of a powder that coats the fabric on the grids. It's diatomaceous earth that actually filters the water. The grids are there simply to hold the DE so the water can flow through. Water flows into the filter canister, through the DE, through the grids, and back to the pool. How does the pool look? Do you see sand on the floor of the pool? If so, 1 or more of the laterals in the sand filter could be cracked. This lets sand blow back at the pool. Watch the return jets as someone turns on the motor pump. Do you see a cloud of white dust blowing out? If so, the covering in one of the grids on the DE filter could be torn. This will let DE back into the pool. It isn't your place to diagnose the failure. I just want you to see if there is a failure that someone needs to address. A pressure gauge sits on top of the filter. It measures the internal pressure of the filter in PSI, pounds per square inch. Take down the make and size of the filter. Call the manufacturer or look at the website and find out what the proper operating pressure is for that filter. Is the pressure too low? Something might be blocking the water's path on the suction side of the pump. Maybe the leaf basket is full of debris. Maybe there's a problem with the pump, or maybe it's just too small. Does the pressure gauge say the pressure is too high? Maybe the pump is too large, or the filter is too small for the system. When the pressure gauge reads about 10 pounds above the recommended pressure, manufacturers will tell you it's time to clean the filter or backwash it at the very least. Backwashing a filter means you channel the water to actually run through the filter backwards. You do this with either a single backwash valve or a group of valves plumbed in for this purpose. The water carries the dirt out of the filter and off to the side. Backwashing a filter does not do as thorough of a job as tearing it down and cleaning it, but it will put that off a little longer. Next to the DE filter, you might see a separation tank. This tank holds a canvas bag of sorts that separates the dirt and the old DE from the water. It's basically a strainer. The water goes back maybe to the pool. You deal with the mixture of dirt and old DE separately. You don't backwash a cartridge filter, by the way, because forcing water backwards through the cartridge will ruin it. To clean a cartridge filter, you have to take it apart, hose off the cartridges, and reassemble the filter. Let's get back to the pressure gauge. It can tell you other things as well. Watch the gauge for about half a minute or so. The needle should be steady, but if it goes down and up while the pump is on, then there's an intermittent problem. The water level in the pool could be low. The pump sucks air and the water pressure isn't as great. Then the skimmer fills back up, the pump suddenly has water again, and the pressure comes back up. But it's cyclical. The skimmer runs low again, the pump runs low, the filter pressure drops. There may not be a real problem. The water simply could have evaporated from the pool, and it just needs to be topped off. Now let me give you a word of warning. You should not take anything apart for the purposes of this DVD anyway. But if you do someday own a pool, never, repeat, never even start to take the filter apart with the pump running. The filter is under pressure. The filter lid will blow off, doing serious damage to both the equipment and to you. Always make sure the pump is off and the system has dropped the pressure to 0 before you do anything. So, how do you keep a filter running at its best? If it's a DE filter, you take it apart, clean it out, hose off the grids, and recharge it back up with fresh DE. If it's a sand filter, you clean it out and load it with new sand. Why new sand? Because new sand is rough. The grains of sand have many edges that trap the dirt. After the sand has been used a while, like old sandpaper, it smooths out. The sand doesn't trap as much dirt. If it's a cartridge filter, then keep the cartridges clean. Pool spa covers. There are good reasons to cover a pool or spa. My first concern is for your safety. There are covers designed to support a person's weight if he or she falls into the pool, but they are not all that common. Some spa covers have straps and locks to keep children out. If the pool or spa has a cover on it, check it out to make sure you know if it's safe or if it isn't. I don't want you thinking you have a safety cover if you really don't. 2. Evaporation. Less water will evaporate from the pool if it's covered. 3. Chemicals. You will use less water sanitizers like chlorine if the pool is covered. 4. Dirt. Leaves and dirt are more likely to blow across a covered pool than into it. The pool will stay cleaner longer if it's covered. 5. Temperature. You wouldn't try to heat a house without a roof on it to keep the heat in, right? A pool is no different. A pool loses 75% of its heat from the surface of the water. A cover can raise the water temperature some 10 to 15 degrees.
I've got a lot more great stuff for you at houseiq.information. If you like what you've seen so far, do me a favor and tap the subscribe button so you don't miss future videos. And click the link to watch some more great stuff right now.